And also, like, go to our... We should officially be streaming now, probably, maybe.
What?
Possibly.
I can't hear you. It's an ad playing.
Yeah. Alright, here we go. And then, yeah, just go watch the stream to make sure everything's not trash. Of course. And also because I want you to see the lighting as it happens.
Wait, I guess what? Wait for it. It's gonna happen.
Are you still, like, alive? I can't hear you. Oh, wait a minute.
Game.
I muted my audio so that I could, not hear the ad.
There it is!
Oh my god.
Wait, did it echo? I have to unfollow it.
I didn't.
Back.
Oh my god. Will it even do it again?
It's so hard to listen to two conversations at once.
Stop listening to yourself.
I'm listening to you and you, but like at two different times.
Oh, but because you have to hear the notification.
I'm listening to you and you, but like at two different times.
Oh, but because you have to.
You want to allow the app. I want it to get out. I don't want it to make changes. I want it to leave my house.
Just came through the stream. That's terrible.
Program? Where am I? What's happening?
Oh, where am I?
Marty! I'm scared.
I'm gonna have to ask you to stop.
No.
Immediately, young man.
Oh, stuck on them.
Alright, everything's pitch black. Here we go.
Oh. Is that like because it's not fully baked, or is that real life?
That's real life. I turned off the reflection probe that was like doing stuff to it, and now we're gonna light it. Now we're gonna apply our own lighting.
Bright, and some things look pretty not so bright.
Well, yeah, the sun's hitting some of them. Yeah, we're gonna have to flip these around. Actually, we're up now. Oh yes, the set store. Oh, thank you.
What'd you do this time?
So we're gonna have to do stuff like flip these around, so that.
Oh.
Oh, that's terrible. Because otherwise it won't cast a shadow. You know?
I mean, I can do that. I just didn't know I needed to do that for this, because usually I don't have to.
No, I know. It's specifically because the sun is a thing.
It's never been, so I never bothered with it.
There we go.
Part of me just wants to get rid of the garbo in the back.
I'm gonna send a message to that guy and be like...
You should also send another message. Like, hey Ethan, remember I? And like send him like a gif of that Red Bull Santa.
Oh no! It knocked me out of the thing, so now the thing in our corner of our screen looks stupid. Need to open more Discords.
Oh god, the corner of the screen. What happened there?
Ah! Oh, snot.
What is this trash? Get out! Ah!
Ah!
Oh my gosh! Cole, I have the ability to extract all again.
Please don't.
No, it is back, and I'm so happy. Missed it.
How do I go into a private conversation with this guy?
Extract me up inside. You can like send him a direct message.
I know, but I already did, and now I don't know how to get back to it. I figured it out.
What? Click on his name.
I figured it out.
Ah!
Suddenly, I need more screens.
Did I open Malwarebytes and also start a skin without realizing it?
It might have started.
What's happening?
Ah! So many things open at the same time. I literally am running 4 screens right now, and I don't have enough. I need one more. This is the only time so far that I've actually desired that. It's been like a month or 2 that I've had this many screens.
I could be using 1, but 2's nice. Well, how was that a 40-second long scan? Oh.
Well, if you were using Super Mega Hyper Super
It
Speed
scanned
Scan.
1 item.
You scanned that one folder. You scanned the thing you right-clicked on, is what you just did. Oh my god. You got it. Got him.
Who got him?
You got that virus that I sent you. That wasn't a virus at all. Got him.
Don't you appreciate me and like me as a human? And Nicola.
What? What do you want?
What?
What?
Why do all these people got tubes in them?
Why would you say that without context on stream? And I can't give context either because it's spoilers.
It's what's happening now.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
it's fine.
Everything's fine.
Oh, that's a butt. Oh, you sent me a butt.
I did.
Well, it's like
it's like some guy with a freaking like a pen. It's like yes, I know which one you're talking about. Why is that in the zipped folder? I told you some cheese might come through. God damn it. Anyway, lighting. Light me up inside.
Alright, so start by putting in... Oh, how are we gonna do that? Like, how do we use the chandelier to make it...
Here's what we do, Jordan. We go over to game object, we go to light, and we add a point light. Oh boy. Except...
But that's gonna look so shit.
You know what? This is my calling.
I absolutely love that Unity is so good at adding objects into the 3D space.
Just completely random.
You clearly wanted it to be 3 miles that way.
Yeah, it's entirely random. It's like, well, it's on the screen.
No, I'm just saying, like, it should detect where the view is and be like no more than X amount of units away from where the camera is currently at.
It probably has something to do with how exactly my camera is, like...
But under no circumstance would you want to add an object that far. So it should
Unless
be like...
your scale was that ridiculous, which can happen. And so it was probably, like, my camera, like, frustum thing was probably stretched out, which can happen. It's kind of hard to explain that, because I don't even fully understand it anyway. And, like,
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that is a problem I was worried about. So here's one of the... Wait a minute. But I had a solution to that before. What was it? Oh. Okay. So if the floor doesn't accept sunlight, then it shouldn't be a problem anyway. Except if it needs it right here, which it might. Where's the sun anyway? Oh my Karen. Oh my Karen. Emotional sunset mode activate. Now we're on the moon. Oops.
Hush. Hush, hush, hush. Hush, hush, hush.
There. Nope. Yeah. Nope.
I don't know who I am or what's going on? What is that? What did you just...
Oh, I'm just causing havoc. Don't worry about it. So, I mean, that's what it looks like if it's on the front of the mansion. Oops, that's a little too sharp. Or...
Let's add lots of post-processing prettiness that makes it look like real life.
We'll get to that, one thing at a time. You know what really doesn't help about this? Besides the fact that we're using this terrible material. Which really doesn't help.
What's going on?
We can only see what it actually looks like when we press play because there's the post-processing of the brightness going up, you know?
Oh.
If that makes sense.
Oh. Ow. Ah.
Which is, I think, honestly, normally it's going to be at 100 just because, like, the old levels are too dark otherwise.
I mean, how do we make it look like the light is coming from, like, the chandelier and not just the space around the chandelier?
I don't know.
Oh, it's buffering.
Why is it buffering?
Because the chandelier is several different small lights.
Oh yeah, Jordan, I want to show you literally the best thing ever. You ready?
Okay.
Well, you'll see it when you see it. The people on stream wouldn't be able to see
Oh
it.
no. Don't do that. Why? Does that with the fixed one?
I think so.
How? I pulled it out further.
Not far enough? Question mark?
Pulled it out like 3 or 2 feet further.
I don't know. I can stick my head into it.
Yep, fake news. Where am I? How do I get back to the game? I feel like it does it closer than it used to now. I mean, what? I feel like it's easier to do it than it used to be, even though I pulled it out.
I don't know.
The amount of times I try to say something and then say what, it makes me a little sad sometimes. Oh, I don't. Do I confuse myself?
It's okay to be sad, Jordan.
Don't talk to me.
And if it's okay to do something in small quantities, it's okay to go completely overboard.
Were those words?
What?
Were those even words?
I mean, like, technically.
I can't. It's weird how, like, you, like, max it out on my phone, but I can hear you fine.
That was the thing I didn't understand. Because, I mean, it's fine on stream. But, like, and I can tell because I have, like, a meter. But without a meter... I mean, I don't know. Oh, someone's here.
You know what the stream could use?
What?
I think that we could optimize our viewer engagement if we add a puppy cam in the corner.
Sometimes you disappoint me in a way that I can't explain. Cooling mask. No sun. Alright, so we're gonna have this one layer. I don't have a rim light in here, do I?
What? Oh, okay. I think that you might want to turn yourself down a little bit, because I'm quieter. Unless that's on purpose.
Unless that's on purpose. I'll just turn you... Wait, you're quieter? Say something. Jordan.
What?
Speak English for a second. How are you quieter on, like on stream?
Yeah, I'm like listening to the stream through my headphones.
Hello.
What?
That's weird because it doesn't say that. Like when the 2 meters are next to each other, you know, and
yes.
Like mine is louder, or wait, no, mine is quieter consistently. So we'll use this as a turn off the shadows on that one, and we'll try to point it kind of in the opposing direction, I suppose.
Maybe we'll just pretend everything is hunky-dory.
I mean, I'm sure I'm louder coming through the phone, but...
No, you're a little louder on the stream, too. But you're
Okay.
also louder on the...
Then I'll turn you up a little bit.
That's unnecessary. No one wants to hear me. It's also a little harder for me to come in. Like, I think I have to talk louder to show up. Just because Discord, like, cancels any audio that's...
Right.
You can whisper and it'll be there. I have to pretty much yell to be like, nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. All right.
Okay, so that's a rim light. If you guys don't know, the reason we do that is just because... The reason it's blue is just because, you know, when we actually would have, like, a better skybox, which I should probably throw on the player just for reference, because he's rendering, like, a nighttime scene or some crap. You would have, like, reflections coming off of the clouds, and it wouldn't actually be, like, light all coming from one direction, because it doesn't make any sense.
Da-ba-dee-da-ba-die.
Okay, Jordan.
What?
And I'm like explaining stuff, and you're over here singing.
You said blue, and I couldn't help myself.
Oh, I see. It was the trigger word. And yeah, like you wouldn't have, like, if you were on the moon and you had like no atmosphere, then that's one thing. Like you would have like light coming mostly from just one direction. But on Earth, you have this whole complicated, weird atmosphere, and so it does lots of reflections, and at least during the day, you get a whole lot of light coming from various directions. Rim lights are generally advisable. I don't put shadows on them. I think that's extremely unnecessary. Yeah, let's see here. That's terrible. I don't know what that is. We're not using that. Probably be facing this way most of the time. So the reason it looks so dark right now is because I think only my rim light is on? No. It's just dark. I just need to add, like, a reflection probe or something to everything. But we'll get there when we get there. Kind of want to...
Oh, the sky's on fire. Put it out.
I'll put it out. Just chillax. Yeah, so let's see. Throw another skybox on.
Someone is trying to open the garage door and failing.
Failing horribly.
Oh, now they got there.
Oh boy.
I don't think it will fling you now. Extra far.
Oops. Not really sure what kind of skybox I want here. I mean, I want something sunny in, like, daytime. For sure.
Ooh! Yes.
But those are the default Unity ones. I don't want to use those. I had this kit that I kind of liked. I do like these sunrises here. They don't look good, I think, until you kind of look up.
Everything is...
Oh, so that one actually has a sun in it. I don't know where the sun is. It's over there. Oops, that's really weird. I don't think we're gonna do that.
Oh, what's that? That looks weird.
What, the sun?
Just the little, like, shtick. Just was it? I don't know what I saw. When you were spinning around, I thought I saw some.
Yeah, that's it's the wing. I turned just the camera. What was I doing? Moody sunrise. I like this one because it doesn't.
Oh, we didn't even like acknowledge the fact that those are fake news.
What?
The wings.
The what?
The wings.
Yes. Indeed.
You're like, okay, Jordan, sure, whatever you say. Now you won't even acknowledge me. I see how it is.
What? Shut up. I'm trying to build a game, you know.
I'm trying to build a game too.
Okay. So, I guess honestly, if it was that
it picks
color,
up things I don't want it to, but it won't pick up the things I want it to pick up.
what?
Like I turn my head to cough, and it's like comes in crystal clear. I talk right into the microphone. It's like.
Oh my god. Oh boy.
It's like it's so great. I need to turn you down on my phone because
Oh,
you talk.
that's
You sound
good.
quiet on the stream like a normal voice.
Yeah, I know
But
what
you're
you
like
said.
blowing it.
This is terrible. We have a big problem.
What's the problem?
Well, during the day, see, normally the brightness would be set to like 100, you know?
Do you want to like automatically lower it? Like make 100 actually 50?
We might be able to do something like that. See, yeah, when it's darker, it makes a lot more sense, but now that it's, like, actually light out, it's like, I can't see anything. It's, like, bright white. It might be too, well, no, because the skybox.
I don't know. You could make it so that when it's, in scenes like this that are actually bright, you have it still display whatever number they had it set to, but you lower the amount that it actually is.
So I just divide it by 2 or something.
Well, yeah, like half it or something. So like it's like if they had it set to 89 out of 100, it'll still be that number on the bar, but lower the amount in behind the
Well, that
scenes.
means if you had it set to like 88 here, then it would be set to 44 like that.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't actually lower. Have to divide behind
Well,
the
yeah,
scenes.
but I mean, I'm behind the scenes. Yeah, I'm trying to see if that's even like applicable. Like if someone set it to 50, then it would be at 25, which looks like this.
Well, if they had it set to 50, it wouldn't look like this on their screen because no human would set it that low. I don't think.
That's probably true.
Unless the monitor really needed to.
This is extremely frustrating.
I mean, no one actually sets the brightness to the recommended amount. It's always like a little higher.
That's true.
Or we can try to just make the scene not so bright to begin with.
Do we have another... Well, I mean... Like, the skybox itself literally gets, like, blown out.
We had a daytime scene in the old mansion. Why wasn't that exploding?
Huh?
We used to have a daytime scene with the old mansion, and the skybox wasn't on fire back then.
Because we didn't have a brightness correction back then. Like, of any sort.
Well, Mr. Coatman, what do you think we should do? I'm just over here trying to fix Collider. Again, right? Like the capsule's not tall.
What?
I'm just looking at the collider and hoping that it works now. Did you put in the new stuff I mailed you? Or are you just going to wait?
No, I'll do it later. Sun shafts. That'll be a thing for sure. we'll probably have to angle those at a specific point. So that's just weirder than I would have thought.
Wow.
What if we take that skybox? Let me stop using that type of skybox, because that's stupid. Maybe... Let's see if I go into brightness. Now that I'm using the other kind, if it's still, like, messed up. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. Oh my god.
What?
It's just stupid.
It didn't even come in through my phone. I had to wait and listen for it on the stream.
We can go back to the sun here. And maybe if we just toned it down. Looks like the skybox actually does react to it, oddly enough.
Yeah.
I think. Wait. Maybe not. Maybe it's just going to the other position. No, it is. It is reacting to it. Say maybe we just lower the intensity of just the sun in general, because maybe it's too high right now. And then we'll try to apply a skybox this way instead. Oh, actually that's the one we used to use.
Send. Sent it. Yay.
Oh my god. That's unbelievable.
Oh, it looks very great.
Yes. Yes, it does. I mean, if your brightness is 1, then it's normal. But, or if your brightness is 50, I guess, which is unedited, unchanged. Ha!
Fun.
Yes.
Craving cookies? The Quest Protein Cookie will feed those cravings. Bite into 4 soft and chewy flavors, complete with the cookie taste you crave and the nutrition you deserve. That's because Quest Protein Cookies have 15 grams of protein, 12 grams of fiber or less, and 3 grams of sugar or less. Join us on a quest to enjoy the taste you crave and the nutrition you deserve with Quest Protein Cookies.
Why is there an ad on the stream?
Taste you crave and the
You're not listening to me.
What? Yeah, no, I had to mute myself for a second. What happened?
I'm trying to ask you why you're playing an ad on the stream.
Because I was trying to see that little thing that shows you how many people are on the stream. And it wasn't appearing.
Okay, but like it was coming through on the stream.
I know, that's why I muted it.
That's all. You muted yourself just to stop the echo.
Well, to stop, I muted like my system volume, like to stop it from coming.
I mean, you didn't stop it though.
Really?
No, I'm saying I listened to the whole ad.
Damn it! I even muted the stream, too. That's really stupid. Alright. Let's see. Yes, this ambient source has to be from the skybox, yes. Although it's not.
It's just over here like, Paul, what are you doing? And you're just not responding.
I need to try that reflection probe again. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's way brighter.
It looks very pink. Is this the skybox from the old mansion?
Yeah.
I remember a time when it wasn't on fire.
Yeah.
Fancy. Are you gonna put those little petals back in?
The what?
Gonna put the little, like, cherry blossom petals back in?
Maybe.
Let's add grass.
Hmm?
Oh, is it? It's fully optimized now, right?
Huh?
Except for, like, the lights that need to be managed.
Yeah, I think so.
What's its frame rate again, now that it's optimized? Someone dude-added. What was that?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, was that like a crosscode thing?
No, that was Tristan.
Oh. I mean, do you want me to
Oh
go look
darn.
at?
He's live on Twitch actually right now.
Yeah. He's like, hey, you guys should come watch me instead.
I'm like, ah, darn.
So, what was the frame rate again when the game is playing?
Oh, the frame rate should be, like, acceptable. I mean, it's, well... It's a little low if you're just looking at the front of the mansion.
Ah,
Actually.
well, that's the part where it shouldn't be low. Joined it. What?
I wonder if
Is
it has to do with the lighting stuff I'm doing.
It was in the disc.
What?
He said, yo, you guys should let me join Discord. I thought he was in it already. Tristan.
Oh, who is it? Oh, are you, like...
I'm reading the Twitch chat. It's the
I
Tristan
see.
guy from
Yeah.
before.
Oh, he wants to join the voice chat.
Oh.
Oh. I thought you said you were streaming right now.
Cooperative stream.
We might be able to do that, though. He's like, I am.
If the frame rate's low out here, that's where it needs to not be low.
Well, so I was wondering if it had to do with the lighting.
Oh. I'm just saying, like, we have to put a bunch of grass outside, so the grass is going to be more stuff it's rendering. And if it's already
I see.
outside,
So he's over here making like a Unity 3D Battle Royale game.
ooh, those are a big hit these days, I hear.
Indeed. I don't know if he just wants to game dev and like be in the stream chat at the same time. Is there any reason we shouldn't let him in?
I mean, if you want to. I mean,
Yeah.
you're the guy that has the power, so.
We'll do that, I suppose.
Although he's get mixed in our game development stuff.
Trying to nudge this thing up so that you can see everybody in the stream chat. Like temporary.
Did you get what I was saying earlier about, like,
About what?
Cole?
What?
Did you Did you hear what I was saying earlier?
You keep getting cut off. About what?
I'm trying to say that we have to have render grass outside, and the frame rate's already low outside. So we should try to figure out what's lowering the frame rate
Yeah,
outside.
I'm trying to see if it's related to. So let me grab like my chunk manager and the lights that I turned on and see what those have anything to do with it.
I mean, if you look away from the mansion, what's the frame rate? If you turn around,
Higher, I'm sure, because then occlusion culling
I'm
disables
just
the whole
curious
motion.
how. Just trying to
It's
figure
like
out
another like what is that like?
Oh, 6 frame. Wow.
Yeah. Well, so that's six. It's the difference between 65 and 70 or 81. So like 60.
I mean, 65 isn't that terrible.
On this computer, considering I have like AMD 7870 running, I would like to get closer to like I like to be up in the 70s at least.
Because there's a bunch of like complex stuff in the terrain.
Was he not able to join? What happened there? I heard a badoom, but nothing happened.
Should I stop talking?
You're trying to focus on the game, I would be bothersome, he says. You can still join if you want. I mean, like, I'm sure we'll just talk about games and stuff. I sent you a thing, if it's not letting you in, I don't know. There's a lock on your voice channel. There's no one else in here, I'll just unlock it for now.
Is the like, oh? I don't know.
Permissions. We'll just give it. Just give some. Here we go. So that way, I think we can keep it like kind of whatever. See if it works now. Or I'll send him a new one. I don't know if I need a new one or not. I'm gonna do it anyway. Fagwent is here. Aw, yeah. Who we have decided is most likely a bot. How's it going?
I think they were here before we went live.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just need to mute the stream so I don't hear your voices.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's up, guys?
Yeah,
I'm not really trying to like intervene, but
that's fine.
I feel like you guys are just talking about whatever as well.
Kind of, yeah. sort of, kind of trying to correct the lighting and like also just talking at the same time, yeah.
Everything's bright and terrible.
Yeah, I don't know why everything's... So, like, we have, like, this brightness correction thing. And, oops, it's not in the right place. It looks terrible.
No, I'm actually excited that I could stream now because this guy just helped me set it up.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's right, because you were talking last time about how it, like, wasn't working.
Yeah, he was able to stream 1.5 megabytes, so...
Sweet.
I was able to do it with 1. And I'm just like streaming a section of Unity, just the scene area.
Yeah.
Runs all right. I'm not gonna stream while I'm watching this, cause.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so let me see if it was actually the lighting and stuff that decreased our frame rate, because I'm gonna guess it was. Because they usually have.
So, are you guys working on lighting, or?
Yeah. Yeah, but it also I think it just nuked our frame rate too. Either that or the front of the mansion is a lot slower. So that reflection probe is like a 5 frame per second difference, I guess. Oh wait. No, it's not. It just takes it a second to catch up. That makes more sense. It's like a 1 frame per second difference. I was gonna say, because it scans all surfaces on awake, but it shouldn't be like it's basically like baked. In fact, actually, I can just make it baked if I wanted to.
Why is it struggling to push 50?
Because, well, I have the editor open right now. Like, I'm not full screened it or anything.
There was this other streamer who was building a game in Unity and was pretty much doing the same game style as you guys in a house, that kind of stuff. But he's got his own unique whatever.
Right.
Looking at the differences here.
You could put his stream in the Discord and we could check it out.
Yeah, I was saying like 50 views or whatever. It's pretty interesting to check out his stuff.
Yeah.
Cause he's got this phone that docks and charges, and it's like a phone, but it's parts of functionality of the game. It's got some kind of camera system. Lets you look at cameras throughout different areas of the house.
Right. Yeah, so definitely the light is making a pretty big impact on the frame rate, which you would expect.
So is lighting your to-do list right now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fix the lighting.
Yeah, because there's no lighting going on other than just or there wasn't before. We just sort of threw a light in just to work on it. But
so it's gonna be a lit. It's gonna be a lit scene.
Yeah, the rest of them haven't been, except I think one. Yeah, this will be the second lit scene, I guess, that we work on.
So it's gonna be. Is it gonna be like a moving sun or?
No, it'll just be kind of a
static sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's about almost 60, and then if I turn all the lights off, then we're getting a lot more. That's a big difference. It's like a 20 frame per second difference with the lights on or off.
So you're not using baked?
Yeah, so we've had problems with baked lights before. I think we could try baking it again, but the main...
I don't even remember what the problem was.
Well, the main issue was we couldn't have any kind of... it wouldn't support any kind of specular or any, normal mapping. It was really weird. I don't think baked lighting in Unity actually does as much as you might think it should be capable of. I feel like it should be able to do a lot more than it does. Because it doesn't,
I don't know, dude. I rarely use baked yet, and...
Yeah, obviously, if you can do baked lighting, which in this scene for most things, we should be able to, then it's definitely preferable, because it's no real-time computations, which just makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, but I thought real-time lighting is a big performance issue eventually, the more lights.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we're kind of looking into, especially in...
I'm assuming that your entire interior is going to be filled with lights, right?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. And we've done that before, though. The other level that we did that was lit, had a basement that was all dark, but it had lights going throughout, and it looked really good with real-time lights, but once it baked, it that basically defaulted back to diffuse, and I just reset everything great, but and it just, I don't know, it looked terrible. So I actually set it up in such a way that it could work in real time, because even though there were 40 lights or something, I just used really aggressive chunk management, so whenever you walk around a corner, all the other lights that don't need to be on turn off. And it kind of worked out. It's still not as good as if you just had it going like with baked, like it wouldn't be as fast, but it's still like acceptable.
And I thought mixed lighting was also something that's supposed to make sense.
I'm not sure how mixed lighting works, so I guess obviously it must be a
bake and real time.
Yeah. So is it something like if
I thought it applies to
you have like a baked point light, for instance, and then but say you're making a third person game and you can see your character, then your person like walks through into the light, like it would still light your person, but everything else is baked or something like that. I think that's how I understood it. I wasn't.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much.
Point light. Oh boy.
This is one of the few instances I actually wish I had
three monitors. Yeah.
I'm trying to like split up the stream and concept art in one monitor. I can almost see half of what you're doing.
Great. I have I have 4 monitors right now, which is just
so nice.
It is really nice, specifically for this type of thing. Like,
yeah.
I didn't like buy like all 4 monitors. They're just monitors that I've kind of like accumulated, and I just figured out ways to plug them in, and so like. Yeah, so like 2 of these monitors, one of them's a hand-me-down, and the other 2 I literally found at like a recycling place. Only my main monitor is, and I didn't even buy that one. I got it as like a present. But like, nice. I had to plug one of them into my integrated graphics instead of my like actual graphics card, because otherwise like.
Yeah, I got a little 20-inch old school RCA one.
Yeah.
That you plug into.
That's awesome.
Plug into the old-fashioned way, and I don't use it as a second monitor because it's too small.
Right. I kind of almost wanted a CRT just because it's so like I just like I just like having like that piece of old school history.
They're still applicable to this day, I think.
Yeah.
People use them a lot.
They're huge is the problem, but yeah.
I'm not even on a normal computer screen. I'm on a 40-inch Sony TV.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my monitors, the hand-me-down, is like a 52-inch TV. I was really lucky to get that. And oddly enough, it's not very useful as a monitor just because of how large it is. It's just kind of sitting over there. But when other people are over and you're like, hey, watch this YouTube video, then that's really awesome.
And there comes to a point where when you're working with more than one monitor, you're able to multitask and
because I have like
special way.
Yeah, I have almost all my windows open. Like I have the stream on one screen, I have Unity open on this screen, and then I've got like the Discord that we were in. Well, I've got the Discord open in one place, and it's specifically like wedged into the corner of my screen so that it says stream chat like in the corner. And then I have like the conversation that we had where I like invited you to the stream on like a different monitor. It's really useful for stuff like that. I don't know. I have no idea how to make this point light not look totally stupid, because it just it just doesn't look right. Could change the color. That's a little bit better.
Bloom.
Add tons of bloom to everything, yes. It does help, actually. But kind of like faintly having the candles, but I don't feel like that's realistic. We should make
Maybe
all of
candles
these.
in the corners where it's the darkest.
Do what?
Candles in the corners where it's the darkest.
Oh, you mean like, yeah. I mean, I don't want to like...
an actual light source, but...
I don't want to put like new lights in. You mean like stick like a candle like right here or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, then the stream might be a little delayed when I said that. Yeah, but I don't think we don't want to put like new light sources in. We just want to work with the ones we have, but it's a matter of like actually making them look good, I guess. Where is the material? It's been buried. There it is. That doesn't even look right. I don't even know what to do with that. White. Massive. Maybe I should keep messing with the kind of overall lighting first, because it looks terribly wrong. Most of these things in the house should probably not accept light from the sun, except that one does. Gosh dang. That one's gotta... This'll be...
Oh, what's this? I did a slight flicker script for candles. It was kind of cool. That sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've written one of those, but like that always definitely helps. If they're like actual candles, these are gonna be like electric candles, but yeah, like actual candles especially, like if you give them that little bit of flicker, it looks way better. Yeah, that looks kind of cool coming in through there at least. Yeah, so let me see if maybe the lighting's coming from the skybox. Or is it? I was gonna have the... Let me see if I can find that. Actually, I'm in it right now. That was convenient. Okay, yeah, these have some interesting skyboxes. Just like having something a little bit different than the default ones, because I feel like that's always kind of cheap. That one's better. Mobile, I think not.
So, are you guys planning on making most of the 3D assets for like the grass on the outside, or like the decoration outer part of the level, and
yeah,
I guess the inside?
Yeah. Just the, I mean, yeah.
Like 3D modeling and the texturing of it.
Yeah, so we're gonna take this Unity terrain and like actually make it into something that looks good, and then we're gonna, I don't know, Jordan, talk about the terrain.
Like you could use some free assets as prototypes just to have there as templates.
Yeah. Jordan, don't you have a bunch of like grass that works as like don't you just have like a kit of like textured grass at least?
Oh, yeah. Hang on.
Probably. Because you built the outside scene for the path
there
thing.
are like I don't know, PNG files of grass.
Yeah, most of them are textures too. Like we don't usually use a lot of 3D.
They're in the They're in that.
They're in
project.
that scene.
They're under the. I'm not sure what the fuller name is called. They're under, textures.
Right.
So what is your guys' next objective after lighting? I think lighting issues.
I don't know. We kind of go at like a one at a time sort of thing. I mean, we have like a bigger schedule, like a kind of a. So if I look, I have like a whiteboard in here, and it's like there's like a big master schedule that says like it's just like 10 checkpoints or whatever. That's like things to be done before the game is finished. There probably would be one more thing on that list that I just didn't add because it's already done. Maybe 2 or 3 actually that are just like already completed. And then 1, 2, like 3 of those that are up there right now I haven't technically checked off but are like basically done.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there's kind of like an Act 1 and an Act 2 of the game, and this is still in Act 1, but this is like the last part of Act 1, and
yeah,
I like made a really detailed schedule for Act 2. Unfortunately, it doesn't boil it down to like the actual like days or anything. It's just sort of like these are the things that we have to do, like broken down into a bunch of small tasks.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Oh, but I don't like actually know. I mean, like basically this one isn't broken down like that, so it's kind of just like finish mansion, Yeah.
Like, are you gonna script the actual scenes?
Yeah.
Like, when the player goes to this specific area, it sets a trigger of a cutscene, and then this cutscene lets them progress forward.
It's like that kind of thing, yeah, sort of.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how you guys are going to do it. There's so many ways you could do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit cheap right now, but it makes sense in the context of the story. So, like, I guess that is to say, like, you kind of just drop from one level to the next, except in one of them. One of them you sort of walk from one to the next. That was actually the path that we were talking about earlier, where Jordan was using all the plant assets and stuff. So he built like a path in between like one level and the other, and like one unloads when you're not looking.
Really dropped into this one though. You're like,
I forgot what happens in this one. So like, yeah, I mean, there's sort of like a intermediator level. Yeah, there's a tiny kind of level that isn't really a level. It's more of like a little story moment that happens before this, and then you walk to this one.
Oh yeah, I think you said you had like a maximum time frame of total gameplay. Was that 30 minutes or? I wasn't 30 minutes, like a maximum gameplay time.
Oh, for this mansion, maybe like 30 minutes or something. But like for the whole game so far, the last playtest we did clocked in at about an hour and a half, which is probably a little much because we stopped and talked a lot. But
I mean, it was like an hour and 50 minutes, and then we subtracted 20 minutes. So
I think
an hour and a half
like
was
that,
more
actually.
No, an hour and a half is more accurate because we already subtracted the time we stopped to talk.
Right.
From that.
And that's just before this, and then this one will probably bring it up to like 2 hours total, and then Act 2 begins, and hopefully that'll bring it to a couple more hours if everything works out.
Okay.
Let's see. So I'm just putting everything on like a no sun layer right now because the sun comes through the ceiling. And so I'm trying to see if that doesn't make it like a lot more accurate, and it seems to be. But of course it's also darker that way. I almost wonder if I should do the opposite. If I should, like, select the whole mansion and make it, like, on a no sun layer, and then work backwards, maybe. It looks so dark on the inside, though. That's kind of an issue. So, you were working on, like, a battle royale type of thing?
No, dude, it's not battle royale. I don't know what I was thinking when I put that in. It was because I had the ability to make a battle royale style game.
Yeah.
In the multiplayer, so I was maybe trying to do something like that.
Yeah, and then it kind of just evolved into something.
Well, I'm gonna have it as a separate game mode, so it can be tested, and if it's not something that if it doesn't work out, then I can just always deprecate it.
Right.
But yeah, my game really consists of many other games together.
I mean, that's kind of how. I mean, do you mean in the sense that, like, it has, like, a bunch of game, like, modes built into it?
Since that it has a separate multiplayer.
Oh, I see.
And then it has a single player game mode by itself, which is like just linear style game mode, but it revolves in the same universe, the multiplayer, so kind of come together in that sense.
Cool. I just made the whole mansion turn black. Excellent. I can't even see it anymore.
I'm just mostly focusing on making things in Blender and just look over and everything's black. Like, what did he do?
I turned it all onto a no sun layer because I didn't want to try to select everything inside and, like, put it on its own layer. So instead I'm gonna work backwards and, like, make all the outside stuff not be on a no sun layer. I feel like that'll be easier to see too.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, this will be interesting. For sure.
So, did you guys build this house from scratch, or did you find like an existing house structure and...
So, the old levels, like, we used to kind of draw out in architectural terms, and then we would build it. Lately, Jordan just kind of, like, I kind of give him a bunch of concept art and tell him, like, what it has to look like and what it has to consist of. And he basically just kind of builds it, and, like, he just kind of figures out as he goes, like, how everything's going to work out.
Yeah, because I see you got a lot of parts, a lot of little parts.
Yeah.
This huge hierarchy of just pieces.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of stuff in here. Let's see what this is. This is just cylinders. Cylinder number 11,395.
Result of my mind.
Yes.
Oops.
That's insane.
I may have gotten a little carried away.
It's okay.
Yeah, what is it? 3 stories? 4 stories? Basement?
There is a basement. There's like this little basement down here.
It's
and then
not yet.
There's
one.
What's the word? It's very there's so much stuff in a in a compact space like this in the game.
Yeah. So I guess it looks like it's. I guess it's 3 stories plus a basement, like 3 stories plus a tiny little basement.
Yeah.
But not all of the stories are really created equal. Like some of them are just like, this is a big open room. There's a reason this room's empty. It's actually story related stuff. But and same thing here. Like this whole room takes up 2 stories, so it's kind of like, is it really 2 stories?
It's a massive house.
Yeah.
Actually bigger than like you normally see.
Yeah, which was kind of the idea actually for this one. Most of our other levels are much more tame in their size.
Mm-hmm.
Like very tame in comparison. Let me see if I can.
The other fit inside this house many times over.
What did you name the third level, Jordan? You named it like Meek Mill or something. For some reason.
For a good reason. No, I think it's just August.
Is this the
Miller?
This is probably the old one. That's the old one. That was from a very long time ago. That was like 2 years old or something.
It's called. It's called like Miller's House. If that's what you're looking for.
That's it. That isn't really what it looks like, because like I don't know why, but like this is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's to scale is the thing. Like I don't think it is. It's not all the pieces, but like you've got the general outline of it there. I think that door is too small.
You started by outlining it like that?
I don't know what this is.
That looks like
a monstrosity.
It looks like a part of it where there was already existing parts, and I think some things were just remade and put all in one chunk.
Yeah, that's probably what
so
it is.
Instead of fixing individual things and importing them individually, I think I just put them in one.
So if I'm being kind of generous, I think that's as big as like that level is. I don't even think it's that big. I think it's more like that or something.
The first level.
Or this is, well, let me think about it. This is level 3, actually, is what I pulled out here. Yeah, and that's only a 2-story house, and even the second story is a bit skimpy, and there's no basement. Well, second story is kind of. It's okay. There's only really like 3 major rooms on the 3rd story. Yeah, comparatively, it was much more manageable. I'll put it that way.
There's 4.
It's a nice small house. It's a decent sized house. But,
relative to this one.
That mansion looks like two houses together. Could almost have a courtyard in the middle.
Yeah, like a Japanese style with the open area in the middle.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yes. Alright, I'm not really sure what to do next, because there's this sense of like it's either too dark or it's too bright, and there's like no in between, I feel like. So I got a rim light here, kind of bringing in some sunlight from a different angle.
So you're going to be able to explore the outside of the house or no?
Well, some of it. Not
Just
like
some
the
of it?
sides, because there's like nothing there. But
Yeah.
you're gonna run in through
But
the front.
eventually you would go outside.
Yeah, you're gonna run in through the front, and then you'll also be at some point allowed to explore a lot of the backyard. But like, there's also these big like hedges here where like there's nothing there because we don't have anything to put there. So we kind of just block it off because we don't want someone to take the time to walk like all the way back there, and then like not find anything and be like, what the hell? There's nothing here. But yeah, you will be able to walk around outside for parts of it, for sure. There's this sense of like the sunlight should come in, you know, but I almost just want bounce light or something. I don't know. This is a problem. Maybe that can be like that, I don't know. I almost kind of want to try baking something, but I feel like that would crash the stream because it's so intensive. It's kind of what happened. Part of what happened on our first stream. I almost feel like I should just do it like artificially or something. Have like a put like a point light here. And just let it kind of I don't know, that's pretty weird. It's funny because I've done like daytime scenes before and it hasn't been such a problem.
This is one of my favorite things to do. Try and get the light to work.
Yeah.
Trying to position it.
Sometimes it looks like really good, just kind of on its own.
Not my favorite thing to do, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tedious job when you have to do whole area. So many little areas.
If it's like if it's like one little space and you could put the sun wherever you want, it's like so much easier because you can just like put the sun in so like it comes through the window or whatever and then just like work from there. I don't know, it's so much easier I feel like, but now that I have like all these different angles that all rely on the lighting being congruent, it's like yes, just like that.
Yeah, you also need to try and imagine what you're going for in terms of lighting.
Yeah.
For the scene, because that's what everyone's gonna be looking at.
Mm.
If it looks a bit something.
Alright.
Yeah, it looks decent. That looks pretty nice.
It looks good, but I feel like you can tell that it's a point light. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Unless you had like a physical lamp there as a 3D object, then that would make sense, but...
Right.
It's just, if it's just...
Let me select all this and make that accept sunlight again. Actually, what?
And I feel like you could fake it if you put a lamp there, then it would make sense, but...
Yeah.
Apparently this is... Are you trying to imitate the sun?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it look like sunlight's coming in through there.
I mean, if you just angled the sun...
Yeah, see, that's the thing. But I can do it from one side, so I can take, like...
And I guess you can make another sun.
I do have another sun that's acting as a rim light, but I might be able to actually do that and just have, like, 2 suns. Depending on like where you're standing or something.
I don't know how that works though. If you have 2 suns, it's twice as bright.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you actually have like 2 suns at the same time, then it's like it's twice.
Yeah, I guess you just the brightness down a bit.
But I could also, well, maybe, might be able to do that. But I also might be able to like have it so that the sun's on one side when you're over, like, on one side of the house and a different side when you're on another. Actually, that looks really good.
It's like you want to see the, you want to see the shadows going through.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is totally cheating. So right now I have a sun coming from one way and like a different way at the same time. So they're like completely opposed to each other. It kind of works because it lights the whole house up, which maybe is what I need to be doing anyway. Like maybe my rim light needs to be a lot more intense or something, and that's what I'm messing up. It's like maybe I need to turn this one up a little bit. No, maybe a little bit, and then take my rim light and then turn that up like a lot more, but like make sure it's facing a different way.
I mean, I guess that works.
It definitely looks better than before, for sure. Actually, the roofs look awesome. It'll show up on stream here in a second, because they have kind of that blue tint to them now that looks like the clouds are, or the blue sky is kind of reflecting off of them. I don't know if it really comes through in the stream or not, but
kind of.
And then let me grab some panels on this house and make them all accept sunlight again. That's weird. I always get these dark spots.
That side of the house, the sides that are dark, is that because of the sun? Or?
Well, so part of it was because they were on a no sun layer, but honestly, even then,
no sun layer.
So now that I'm turning them back onto the sun layer, because I like selected everything and put it on a no sun layer so that the stuff indoors wouldn't be lit by the sun. But like now that I've taken them off of that layer, they still have like black spots, which is kind of weird, I feel like. And I might even need a third light. Problem is that all adds processing, and I'm wondering if we might even have to go with some kind of baked solution for this one.
The sticky keys?
Oh, well, that doesn't look... I don't know. That one's just a point. I'm gonna get rid of that, actually. And then, I should name this. So that one's the actual sun, I think.
Maybe throwing another sun on that direction with...
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. And this one is a rim light. And then this one's another rim light. Oh boy. Is that the only space that isn't lit up? I feel like I almost have to have a sun on every surface.
You could almost get away with point lights, if you did it a specific way. Point lights on each side of the building, so they'd be lit up daytime, and it would even work for nighttime.
Right.
But you could bake those point lights compared to those suns, which use a bunch of light from everywhere else.
Right.
Is it directional?
Yeah, these are all directional lights. Maybe if I tilt it up a little like that too.
I feel like there's multiple ways that you can do this.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of ways to do it.
I'm just a simple 3 artist. I don't have
yeah. Maybe if I turn up my... So even after I put 3 suns in here, there's still like... You still have this black spot here. Maybe if I go and turn up...
throw another sun.
Yeah, just throw like infinite suns in. Let me see if I turn on... Oops, that was wrong. If I turn on like an ambient color, we might get a better result. It's actually kind of weird. Why isn't it responding?
Look at it, son.
That's pretty strange. I wonder why the things inside aren't reacting to that. Maybe it's because of reflection probe? No, it's disabled. What the hell? I don't understand that. Hello. Give me a second, guys. People are trying to get me to watch anime.
There's a time and a place for anime.
It's not live stream. That's actually really strange. These things aren't reacting to ambient light. Oh, it's probably because they're static, but they still should, I would think.
Are they the ones with the no sun layer?
No, it's not the ones with the no sun layer. It's all of the static objects, I think. Except the terrain is static and it's responding to it. But the thing is, if it's ambient light, the ambient light isn't set up to ignore that layer, so it shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really strange. So I'm seeing, maybe if I use a reflection probe instead, kind of as, because you can sort of use a reflection probe as an alternative to ambient light, which is like, it's like basically the same thing.
What makes you think that it's static is why it's not coming through?
I don't know why it's not coming through, really. It might be because they're static, but the terrain still responds to it, so I don't know if it's really that. Okay, so I mean, this works, but... And it works really well for the outside of the mansion. So maybe I have to put all the inside things on a no reflection probe layer. But for the outside, this is like actually what it's supposed to look like, I think. Or at least a lot closer to it. Mess it up horribly, but I'm just curious. Yes, it totally did. Oops. At least for the outside, using a reflection probe seems to solve most of the problems, I think. Yeah, that looks a lot better at least. That's still black for some reason. But it does respond to ambient light. Okay. So we'll do that.
I feel like the ambient color is doing something funky.
Like the... Well, yeah, it's too bright right now for sure. But, like... just gonna try pulling it out of there. Well, gosh. So let me turn off this extra rim light and the other rim light, which is too intense right now. And then paste back in this reflection probe. And then we'll turn up this ambient color a little bit. At least from the outside, we're starting to get onto something, I think. That reflection probe really solved most of the problems, I think. Some of them look kind of shiny, though. Like the UVs are shiny. Like, stuff that shouldn't be, I mean. Like the windows should be, obviously. Let me try just putting a different material on it. Oh, okay.
I mean, this looks nice almost how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it was just that material is bad. So when we actually put some real ones on there, it'll look a lot better. Yeah, so I think for the outside, we're getting a lot closer. Like, might be able to work with that for now. Except we're gonna have to select everything again and kind of do the opposite so that, well, we'll just do what we did before. So like all the things inside are on a no sun layer.
Is there a shininess on the wood material or on
yeah. We'll replace that with something that's not like terrible like that. So I put a different material on there just a second ago.
Yeah.
A lot of the materials that are there currently are just sort of placeholders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Now we have to take all this stuff outside and put it back onto the sun layer. Wait a minute. Wasn't that already how it worked, though? It was. Oh, okay, yeah. I had that. I just have to make the reflection probe so that it doesn't affect... Oops. So that it doesn't affect things on the no sun layer, because the reflection probe right now is basically acting as like a sun reflection probe, I guess. I'll just call it that. We'll make it ignore that layer, which kind of affected some stuff. It shouldn't affect anything inside though, and I'm still seeing that lit up, and I don't know why. Oh. Yeah, it's definitely affecting them. And that's because it must not render them in the picture. That's what it is. That's kind of an issue. It's just render. How do I make it so it just doesn't apply to? I'm just gonna Google that real quick. How to make a reflection probe. Apply to layer. Oh boy, who turned off my dark theme? Unity. Drag the reflection probe to the anchor override box in the mesh renderer section of the mesh. For meshes you don't want to have a reflection, choose reflection probes off. Is that an alternative way of doing the same thing? Because I don't want to necessarily turn all reflection probes off. I just want this one to not affect stuff like that. So maybe if we... What? What does that accomplish? Sun reflection probe transform. Jordan, did you put your phone on a pillow?
Did I? I did.
I was gonna say I can hear a lot of your keyboard clicks and stuff.
Wow, I'm an aggressive clicker.
Same. For the meshes you don't want to have blah blah. It's kind of a problem. It only works properly in forward mode, not deferred. We've already messed with that problem.
Well, didn't we switch to deferred?
Yes.
Everything works in... or nothing works in... apparently.
Nothing works in forward mode. Supposedly. That's not always true.
Two things don't work in forward that we know of.
Yes. Go to OBJ1's mesh renderer and set reflection. Object 1's mesh renderer and set reflection probe. Too simple. Then set the anchor override. You mean there's like a... anchor override. What? So if I turn reflection probes off, then I would expect to not be getting any of that reflection, but I am. What the heck? I'm just messing around now. I don't understand. People keep saying that I should, like... Allow objects on specified layers to be included or excluded in the reflection. The layers page. Yes, I know. But how do I make it so that it only applies to certain things? Reflection probe. One layer.
How to make a reflection probe apply to only a layer unity?
I only want it to work
write a
on
script,
only
I'm
run
guessing.
one layer, because like basically it's you can switch a reflection probe so that like you've got a culling mask, but that only affects like this little reflection here, like the actual reflection that it's outputting. It doesn't like affect what it's applying to, which is an issue, because I only want it to apply to the outside of the house, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm basically using this reflection probe as something that, like without it, it looks dark like this. And then, I don't know, it actually makes it look like it's outside, but the problem is everything on the inside also has that kind of ambient lighting to it all. It doesn't quite look right that way.
Well, I'm not the guy for reflection probes. I actually don't know much about them.
Yeah, they're actually really cool when they work properly, but they can be kind of complicated.
I don't really have a good idea on what they essentially do, but but it's causing everything on the inside to like have a light.
Yeah. So basically, what it is.
So you're just trying to figure out how to exclude that.
Yes.
Wow.
So, like, basically what it is like, this is the probe, and it just,
And
like...
if you're not using the probe, then it...
Well, yeah, if you're not using the probe, then the outside looks too, like, dark, and I have to supplement it with a bunch of lights that I don't want to use. Because I know I can bake the probes. Like, that is separate from baking, like, all of the lighting, which is a thing we have a problem with. Because it defaults, it falls back on the diffuse. But the reflection probe looks really good on the outside, but I don't know if...
well, you could just hand you point lights towards the house.
Possibly. So you said that earlier, and I haven't tried that yet. So let me just...
That would be like that'd be the way that I'd think about it. If the reflection probe is not working out for you, because you do have the interior, all the insides, which is like supposed to be dark, I guess.
And you definitely can also exclude layers with a light, which is the main thing that I guess I would be...
If you're able to script something maybe like that with the layers.
You don't even have to script it with a light. The way it would work with a point light is you can literally go to, like, culling mask. And it's just that in the reflection probe, the culling mask doesn't refer to the things it applies to it. It refers to, like, the things in the reflection. Whereas this is, like, you can actually apply it so that it doesn't respond, or it doesn't shine light on the no sun layer, which can be really useful. Let me just throw some, like, bricks or something else, anything else on this wall, because this doesn't, like, make any sense.
Oh, that's a point light. There was another light that was an area.
Oh, an area light. You have to bake area lights, though.
Maybe like an area, and then on parts where it's not. And like, I kind of like to make the area, so you have to like shape the area. It's kind of like a cone. How it's excreting the light out.
Right.
Maybe you could do it. I think you could do it with point or air for the other one.
Well, the problem with an area light is that it's area lights are baked exclusively. Like there's like you have to bake them. Changing the materials actually helps a lot. It doesn't. I don't think it still helps like the back.
You're not trying to bake lights like that?
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid baking lights if possible, just because it's it gets rid of a lot of the properties of the materials.
Yeah.
Although, if I could do it selectively, I might still do it anyway to like the outside of the house or something. I guess, I don't know. I could try to do like a test and like try to bake some stuff on stream. Last time it kind of...
the scene. You could duplicate the scene and try something crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. The undo in Unity goes way far back, so you can really mess stuff up, and it's like, I don't know. Rarely do I have to make a duplicate of a scene. The front of the house here doesn't look too bad, except for this UV that's really, like, weird. But,
You're weird. What happened?
Yeah, I guess just flipping, like, just changing out the material on the front of the house actually helped a lot. We just don't have any light going to the back. So, let's try putting a light on it and then baking it or something.
See, said looked weird.
I
didn't see the thing you said looked. What was it?
There's a UV, right here. The stream will be delayed, but... Did you see that?
Is it stretched? I can't tell.
There's just a dark line in it.
Well, that's because it's smooth.
Right.
I guess we
might
to...
Yeah, we might have to import like some of the walls and then like
I don't know
remove
why
smoothing on them. Because if we import it separately, then we can selectively decide whether Unity does UV smoothing.
I don't know why or how, but some things like flat things that are not really supposed to be smooth. Sometimes when you have the normals set to smooth, it just has some weird artifact, the creaser. But the UVs line up perfectly seamlessly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's like the angle it's being smoothed at or
possibly. There's this thing with the front door too, where like the top of the window like stretches the material. If you see that.
Really?
I wonder if that has to do with the smoothing as well.
Ew.
What should I do with this? So I have that other light now.
I feel like that's just actually stretched, but...
Oops. So without that, let me see if I can't get some light going on back here. And then... I don't know why those don't have... Oh yeah, because the roof textures are weird. Did I just uncheck that? Yes. We'll just throw those on there for now. Looks better than nothing. And... I'm going to try to...
Textures are... I missed what you said.
Huh?
What is wrong with the roof texture?
I'm just trying some different stuff to see if how it changes the lighting. Oh boy, someone's following us on Twitter. But the question, I guess, is it actually our account or is it one of the bot accounts? It's a bot account.
I didn't give notification.
Yeah. All right. So let me try to. What should I do here? Should I try to generate lighting? I'll change those lights to like baked. Oops, not that point light. Whatever. Baked, and then try to generate like a really low quality light map. I'm gonna open my task manager to make sure it doesn't totally nuke my CPU in the process. This might be ridiculous. Here we go. Jordan, you should pay attention to the stream and make sure it doesn't totally lag out. It better be quicker than that. Okay. That's not going to take that long, I don't think. Or it might, I don't know. How long have you been streaming?
I don't know.
Please don't play an ad. Don't. No. No. Like trying to, like, look at our dashboard. I hope this speeds up a little bit. I set it to super small mode. I think. It's kind of cooking along now. Okay, that's good. If this takes insanely long, I might try to slow it down.
The stream be buffering.
Yeah, I saw that.
CPU can't handle the truth.
That might actually be it. Is it still buffering? We might have to stop this.
I mean, it stopped and then...
It's taking too long anyway. Set it. Oops, did I just click it again? What the heck? There. I just don't want it to do that thing yesterday where it, like, split our VOD into two. That's weird. It still says, like, 100% CPU usage, and it shouldn't. There it goes. What? How did you get here? Oh. I think I deleted that, actually. How did you get here?
Well, I think you're going insane.
There's this, it's this tiny little, like, piece of malware that is on my computer that's literally, like, 2 lines of code. Not even. It's just a thing that restarts your computer over and over. The scan wouldn't find it. But literally, it, like, it added itself to the startup, but I disabled it, like, a long time ago. It's still in this, like, it's still here, though. Like, it's still sitting here. It can't do anything, because I have it, like... Maybe I'll tell, like, Malwarebytes to, like, shred it or something, because I think I deleted it before, and it didn't. Like, it's still there.
So,
It's called LOL. No.
Yes. Yeah. How did we get the other level that was outside to look so good, Jordan? Was there a ring light in that one?
Are you talking to me, or are you just talking out?
No, I'm talking to you.
What was the question again?
How did we get the other level that was outside to look so good? Should I open that one on stream? Does it really matter?
No, I'm not even sure what level you're...
The prison.
Did it look good?
I think so.
I don't know what was different. I mean, I'm not. That's not my area of expertise.
Do you think it matters if I open it on stream?
I don't think so. I mean, you're just gonna be showing the outside.
Okay, so the lights are off when you're in the basement, but when you come up, there is a sun and there's a sun rim light. And some of the sides are still like dark. But where's the so the sun is pointed like this. The rim light is intentionally the opposite of that. But you still kind of get these dark like sides, and that looks okay because it's kind of like a cloudy scene, you know. But what are you wondering how we got to the other level?
No, there was I was gonna ask. There's this guy called Too Irate to Migrate. He was streaming earlier. Only known him for a few hours, but
yeah,
when we got to know about it, we were talking about game design and all that. But eventually wanted to start some kind of roundtable for discussions specifically about game design and live streaming. And pretty much looking for a bunch of people that are also live streaming on here and would like to maybe, I don't know, set something like a set amount of time just talking about game design.
Yeah, like on stream or something?
People, yeah, pretty much like a group of people talking about certain topics or something. It was a very vague idea, but if any of you guys have something interesting to talk about,
I don't know. If I guess if
you'd be interested,
probably. I mean, like, yeah, if they're gonna.
I mean, it'd mostly be just like the same stuff that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Pretty much just listening in and talking about stuff. Probably Unity related, but
right.
Yeah, I mean this guy, I was watching his he's like straight up in the coding. He was like explaining this really complex system. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
He was talking about this. I'm not gonna explain it, but it's like gem abilities using like this grid of gems as statistics for items or something like that. But
yeah,
he's all into that crap, and like he kind of has the same idea of like explaining stuff, how you kind of like explain it, and
right,
you know.
Cool.
But it'd be really cool to get a bunch of people like us
right,
in a group. I think it's on Discord as well to join a channel to.
I can
send that to you if you guys are interested.
Sure.
I mean, there's not much I can contribute to Unity conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. Just talk about
game
devs. You could come up with topics, and it'd be pretty straightforward. I mean, or we could just talk about people's games that they're doing right now, whatever project you're working on.
When would this be happening?
I don't know. Whenever everyone's on.
Yeah.
It's just whenever. But I'll send you a Discord link to it.
Okay.
Sweet. It just sounds something interesting that would be pretty cool to do.
Yeah, I'll check that out for sure. You know, actually, if we get because
I plan to get a bunch more people.
Yeah.
On here. There's only so many people that use Unity.
That are like also streamers and everything.
Yeah, and they stream on Twitch and they're like building something themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, working on a character stage in Unity for my game. That one guy called Radiant Trainee, he's building like a you know, like a Tekken or Mortal Kombat style gameplay type of game. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. he's got like all this flashing school text.
Yeah.
0 viewers though, so
what was I gonna look up?
Are you aware of other live streamers in the game development, like gamedev and?
Not really. I mean, I kind of got into it because I liked watching these guys that make a game called Crosscode, and they come on every, I think it's Saturday now. It used to be Sunday. Sometimes they still do that, I think. But like, they're like, their game is like a big deal. Like, it's a indie game that had a lot of crowdfunding behind it, and they have like 80 people like every stream and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's
crowdfunded.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. They've been making that game for many years. Oops, this is two-dimensional stuff.
Dang, ambient light not working on certain objects.
Also, that would be nice because that could accomplish the same thing.
Yeah, you're better off opening a bunch of tabs that might have an answer for that.
Yeah.
I use Google as like the answer to most of my errors on.
Yeah, and that's honestly like most of how I learn.
Pretty much what everyone else does.
Like if I don't know what I'm doing, I Google something, and if I want to, like when I was starting out with Unity, it was all YouTube, like not for answering questions, but just for learning how the heck to use the actual engine.
Yep, pretty
like
much.
There's just so much stuff on YouTube. Like you can within reason totally teach yourself Unity just on YouTube.
I
watched a woman made a script for a Minecraft terrain generation.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to learn about it, but I watched it for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
She explained it.
I do the same thing where I look up the problems I'm having related to game development, but then I kind of just keep everything open, and so I end up with 80 tabs open.
Jordan has a tab problem for sure.
It becomes
sure a lot of people do.
Oh yeah,
I get out of it
definitely.
Too.
I mean, I don't mind opening a whole bunch like at a time, but he like saves all of his tabs and like.
They're all important for different things.
I like to bookmark everything and put them in a bunch of folders.
Yeah.
I have tried that recently.
What in the?
Like right above, it's like an extra tab above your Chrome window if you're using Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
Just these folders you open up and then you can just scroll through them.
That's kind of interesting.
So I don't have to open up like desktop and then look at all the individual bookmarks.
Oops. What the heck? Please don't ignore the sundials. What the heck? Oh, they're just because of that. I see. Jordan, did you put normal maps on literally every material in the entire game?
What? No.
Are you sure?
What's the problem? I mean, not every material has a normal map, but if one came with it, then there is one on it.
I'm just saying there's a bunch of stuff normal map.
You mean like the mud normal map?
The what?
That's on multiple things. There's like the mud normal map is on like the glass, and the candle is just sort of.
It looks like you added it to like most reflective things.
Oh, there were a couple like new glass materials I made for other things that I put it on.
Right.
I mean, there are like if you're seeing like reflective materials right now, there are several ones in there that I made new. I didn't put it on pre-existing ones.
This doesn't make any sense, but I'm doing it anyway because I want to see how it looks.
Like I found that it looked good on the handle material.
Right.
It gave it a little bit of extra bleh.
That was very descriptive language, Jordan. Well, when we're not on stream, I'll try to bake those lights again and see if it's not terrible. Honestly, I'm not sure we shouldn't start working on materials first. I don't know. That's a possibility.
Do you guys know of the website called Sketchfab?
I remember that being a thing with Game Jolt integrated Sketchfab into like their something into like their devlogs or something like that.
You know of their whole marketplace of 3D models.
Oh, do they? I did not know they had that.
It's a haven, dude, because there's specific licensing on most of the models, and they're commercial free with somewhat credit, and the amount of stuff that's on there is definitely worth checking out.
All right.
Especially if you don't want to if you want to get some quick stuff done. If you want some models you don't want to deal with, you could go on there and just get stuff like got whatever you can name of.
Yeah.
Mostly they'd be downloadable, and they'd have a commercial free license.
Sweet.
And the cool thing about it is you can view them from your web browser in 3D.
Yeah, see, that was the thing about Sketchfab that I remember, is that you can, like it.
Yeah, and it's a lot more technical. Like they got proper textures, proper materials, everything.
Yeah.
All this complicated stuff, but it's if you just want to like browse through it in your free time, it's definitely worth it. Cause you could find stuff that you could just throw in there and damn.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's lights now.
Yeah, I'm just adding some lights to see what it looks like. Yeah, these are pretty cool.
So, ideally, we would make it look like the light source was coming from the actual pieces and not just a ball of light near it.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems with the point lights that I can't stand.
Because with those, there are like 2 points on each where light's coming.
Oh my.
or would be coming from.
Oh. Well, that looks kind of nice, actually. Still a lot of lights at the same time. I don't know if it's really workable or not. Then again, these materials probably won't be as shiny as this, and as a result, you won't be able to see the individual point that it comes from. I think that's one of the big problems with it being like a point, and like you can kind of see where the point is everywhere. I think the problem with it is that like the materials are so like incorrect that you can like they're so shiny that you can see where the source is of the light, if that makes sense. Oh man, there's gonna have to be so many layers though if we want this to work. I'll just keep throwing point lights on stuff for a while and see what it looks like. Oops, I guess I didn't do the last row. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad actually. At least when it's lit up that way. But some of these things, of course, have to have natural light coming in, and that'll be a doozy. But these hallways that, like these little places that are otherwise unlit, that just have lights in them, actually look really good. Nope.
What happens if you splash a bucket of bloom in that hall?
A what?
What happens if you splash a bucket of bloom in that hallway?
A bucket of bloom?
Mm-hmm.
I would assume everything would look like it has bloom on it.
Wow.
I'll find out. I'll put a bloom script in. Because that is, I'm sure, one of the things that'll be present here in this level is bloom.
I'm trying to think of how you can make it so the actual points look like that's where light from.
Yeah.
Because there's, as it is right now, there's just a point of light in the middle of the two.
Well, I was saying having a different material on here would probably make that go away. Like, depending on what it is.
The two pieces that are light is actually coming from, to have sort of, to make it look like light's actually coming from.
I mean, I'm saying if the material isn't quite as shiny as that, then it, like, you don't...
The wall material, but there's two pieces on the light fixture where the light is coming from.
I know, but we there's no way that we, unless we're baking it, there's no way we can have a point at both. That's just too expensive.
I'm not talking about having a point at both. Saying, how do you make like the light source itself glow like light looks like it's coming out of it?
Oh. Well, I mean, obviously the little tips of the candle will be like emissive or something, but then like I don't know about the candles themselves.
That's the part I'm talking about.
Volumetric lighting.
Well, no, to make like these things look like they're glowing, you use something emissive.
I'm not talking about putting a light at each point. I'm saying that the tips of the candle need to sort of look like they're glowing, not just, I don't know, dark like the rest of it.
I'm saying put an emissive material on it that looks like something.
I thought that was baked too.
No, I mean, like, well...
And you said baking light had a problem.
If we were actually gonna bake, then we couldn't use... I don't think we could use traditional emissive material. If we're not baking... See, the thing is, emissive lights actually put light out into the room if they're baked, but I don't... See, if they're not, they just turn it white. Or whatever color you want it to be. I'm just saying we use a material that just, like, looks like it's generating light, if that makes sense. But we're not actually going to use materials that generate light. Does that make sense?
It looks like it has no material, because it's pure white.
Well, yeah, we probably wouldn't use pure white. We would use whatever... That might be better with, like, bloom, because we might be able to get bloom to specifically show at those points. And if that's not the case, then we can use lens flares in the place of bloom. Let me throw on a bloom script and see what the heck happens here. That hallway looks good. Like, that's the first thing I've seen today that I'm like, oh, okay, that looks good. Like, everything else has been like, Go over to the camera script here. Might already have bloom on here, but I don't care. Bloom optimized, sure, we'll optimize. Super mega intense. Oh my.
I can't see what's happening yet.
It's very subtle, yeah, I know.
I just meant it's delay.
Ooh. It looks really nice, not gonna lie. Keeps getting really laggy whenever I do this. I hope this is like actually optimized. It's just the Unity editor being weird. Oops, I don't know why I went into the scene view.
I'm trying to think of how other games would make it look like the object itself is glowing. Like obviously you have a light source, but then like the model itself needs to look like light is emitting out of it.
Well, that's a little better. It's you might be a little subtle to see on stream, but like just putting some kind of like bloom around it. Like if it's emissive like that, and it doesn't have to be white, it can be like a color that's closer to... I'm just using one of our old emissive white textures or materials, but like yeah, it's
looks really warm in that.
Yeah, I know. It's partly the bloom and also partly the materials.
What does it look like if only the, I don't know, light sources are bloom? Because like the bloom is making the walls look warm. Is that what's happening?
Wait, what?
So is the bloom effect making the walls look more red?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, probably.
What does it look like? Just the light sources are.
I'm gonna find out. I'm trying to get back to that bloom.
Have bloom. Like you said, you could fake bloom.
Yeah, it's really it lights up the hallway a lot. Although honestly, I kind of like how it sort of tone maps some. Not really tone maps. I don't know what you want to call it.
The two. I think that those two white ones look better with this applied to them.
With what?
I think those two white candle or light tips look better with the bloom applied to them.
Yeah, I mean, bloom definitely helps give that feeling that like something's actually like lit up.
Do you need to like increase the range of the light so that it's not as one intensive spot in the middle?
That doesn't change that. It's still coming from an infinitely, like one very small point, no matter what the range is. And I don't want to increase the range too much either.
And can't you make it so like it looks more like an even spread of light than...
The way you do that is with the material it's actually bouncing off of, not the light source itself.
Oh.
Yeah. So, like, depending on what I put here, so, like, if I put this pool lamp texture here, then, you can see, like, really obviously that it's just one point, because it, like, really reflects.
Oh, it's like the smoothness of it, or what?
It's what?
Is it like the smoothness of the material, or what?
Yeah, it depends on how, like, intense the reflective, like, yeah, the smoothness, I guess.
Interesting. Too smooth, I would say.
It looks a bit too red.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too red right now. It's mostly, I think, is mostly the material. Let me try swapping it for something.
Well,
It could be because of the material. Just walk up to it as your character.
Let me try some other type of
it
wood.
looked like it when you applied bloom.
The single bloom script for the camera. I thought you were putting like individual bloom scripts on the candle lights.
No, it's a post-processing effect. So the camera,
Okay.
But we could do that. That was one of the things that we were kind of talking about, is that if we wanted bloom that was localized just to like the little points of the candles, then one of the things we could do is use lens flares, which we've done something like that before, but just like take a lens flare and make it look like a bloom basically, which is
bloom
a thing you
makes
can
it come
kind of
to
do.
life. Especially the
Let's look a little
nicer.
Although I'm not sure if this is a very optimized like bloom. Like it says bloom optimized, but I may not be using it very well because the frame rate is very low. No, maybe that's not it.
I don't
It's
know.
probably just the lights from outside.
Like,
It looks nicer though, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it definitely looks nicer with the bloom.
I mean, it doesn't look red.
I don't know if it's just right next to. Like,
It looks normal. It looks fine. It actually looks normal.
Right now I think it does. There's still kind of a little red in it, which is weird, but like this.
I feel like it's the texture itself that
like the wall materials, you mean?
The wood material.
Yeah. Let's try this one. That one's a lot more realistic anyway. Although it's a little too shiny, but that's okay. I don't know. Maybe this particular bloom is kind of particular towards the color red for some reason, but that's alright. I'm surprised it actually doesn't have that much of... Supposedly it doesn't have that much of an overhead. The bloom doesn't, which is actually... Usually post-processing effects are pretty expensive. It's not that this is a super realistic bloom or something. I don't know why this room's all messed up. Why does this keep happening? The curse of the occlusion culling has returned, you guys.
Ooh, that looks nice.
Was it when I was looking down that hallway?
This one looks better, though. I think the smooth meter or whatever on this material is a little moved over.
It's too smooth.
Is that what you said the problem was? Where if its little bar is slid too far over on that setting?
Yeah, we would use a material that's not that smooth.
Point. Because it's this smooth, it becomes more obvious that it's just one light source, not two.
Yeah.
There is a little bar slider.
Oh, what happened to the...
Yeah, the occlusion culling curse came back. I don't know. It's probably the same problem with that room actually that we were having yesterday.
I thought you said that was with all the rooms that had that problem.
I didn't find any others, but I guess I didn't go in here. Let me try walking in the kitchen too. We'll eventually find all of these. Yeah, and I mean the bloom is kind of another Yeah, it's in here too. It's in the kitchen too. I don't know. We definitely should use some bloom. But, like, that ceiling really looks good with some bloom on it. With, like, the lights, the point lights on it.
Bloom is good.
And with the bloom going, yeah. My flashlight's too intense, but I won't have a flashlight anyway. Honestly, the material on that... And actually, I think a lot of lighting and stuff actually is... And I guess I didn't really come into it, like, with... Like, I didn't begin the stream with this kind of, mentality. But honestly, like, lighting has just as much to do with the actual materials you're trying to apply it to as the actual, like, lights themselves.
Oh, that looks fun.
Are you looking at, like... Did you see the ceiling? Is it showing?
Yeah, I was talking about the giant shadow.
Well, yeah, I mean, but those would be there realistically. Maybe not that large. I don't know.
I don't think they'd be as big because I think that they'd be sort of canceling each other out.
They would be. I can make them. I can make them like fade out more though. Like that's totally an option.
I mean, the one on the left would be casting light on the shadow of the right,
which actually it is. Like if you look, this kind of sucks because the stream's a little behind, but like if you look at the area in like where the two cross, it's darker. Because they're not like they actually are canceling each other out, but I can make it more obvious though, if that's needs to happen, which might be the case, considering that there's not a lot of like reflection going on in the room, so to speak. I think the reason this hallway looks as good as it does is just because there are so many lights, so that light is coming from so many angles, and that was the same with the sun outside, and that's what makes me want to try to bake lighting again, because if we bake lighting, then we can have as many lights as we want. And
why don't you try it right now?
Well, I tried it earlier, but it was like wrecking the stream.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Is there a way to limit how much? I mean, it would take longer to finish
and it already
baking,
takes a really long time too. But I don't know
how much to use, so it doesn't throttle the rest of it.
I'm not sure. I looked into if that's a thing. It's not built into Unity, and I didn't really find a way to do it other than you can go into Task Manager and like set the priority down. But I don't think that actually like decreases. It doesn't decrease like the CPU cycles or anything.
I think it's just taking up too much that it can't also stream.
Yeah, basically what that is.
I mean, just restart the stream.
Yeah, but then the VOD will be messed up, and then it's just so much nicer to. I'll do it. I'll do the bake because it takes a long time to bake anyway, and like no one even wants to watch that. So
yeah.
And there's a lot of like basically doing nothing because it uses so much of your CPU that you're just kind of screwed.
Yeah, baking takes forever, especially. Yeah.
I did bake occlusion culling when we were on stream yesterday, but that was a lot faster and didn't use as much CPU. So
just go outside, take a break. Oh, it's like 10 degrees outside, so
maybe not go outside. Yeah. Let me look at how cold it is outside. Actually, it is 3 degrees. Yeah, maybe take a break inside. At the grade school, they're still making kids go outside for like to do like a 15-minute like walk around the freaking the field outside, just because that's what they do. And they don't want to argue with their boss, I guess. But, like, so many kids are, like, complaining because it's like, we're gonna die out here. Like, I'm getting frostbite, you know? But, like, nope. They're just like, nah, you need to get your exercise. Like, there's a heated gym where we can walk in circles. Like, or just walk in circles in a classroom or through the halls or anything else. They're like, nope, we're gonna go walk on the field in 3-degree weather.
Is it snowing there, or is it just really cold?
Well, it is snowing right now, actually, yeah. Or, well, I don't know if it's snowing right now, but, like, there's snow on the ground.
I mean, it's definitely at the temperature where you can get frostbite if you have improper, clothing.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna turn those lights down. I think it's, when you put just one light in the scene, it's like meh. But when you put a whole bunch in, and they start to all, like, complement each other, and then it starts to look really good. But it's so expensive, like, on processing. Then, like, natural light would come in through there. It's so weird. Obviously, we'll have to stick something in these lights, too. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep putting point lights and things and seeing how it goes. Where's that point light for the main room? I have successfully lost it. It's that one. No.
What?
Gosh. Yeah, the bloom does wonders. Seriously. It's not even set up right now. But it's already like, wow. It definitely shows through too many of the rooms, though. Because it's not actually being canceled out properly. That could be an issue, actually. Oops. Very laggy all of a sudden. Probably because I have so many darn point lights.
Use bloom in the other the other level with light?
Yeah.
As I remember seeing lens flares on them, but I've never seen bloom.
Well, I think I used bloom. I don't remember, actually. I think I did. Maybe we'll just make this like that. But instead, it doesn't reflect itself or something.
Would the shadows like that be cast on the room? Because the light is also coming from...
I'm gonna actually... That's what I was just, like, saying to myself. I'm like, I'm gonna make it so that this doesn't even appear in the...
Yeah, I mean...
it won't even cast shadows from itself.
Yes, light is going through the middle to the other side, but it's also coming from the outside as well, which I think would sort of cancel out the shadow.
It would. Yeah, there are probably so many lights here that are like in such like a configuration that you wouldn't even see much of a shadow, if any.
Like one bulb would cast a shadow for a bulb on the opposite side.
Yeah.
But then there would be also light hitting
all
that
the others.
You know.
Wow, that's a lot brighter than it looks. At night, that would look really good. Is there even lights in this room? No. That's okay. Because there's like natural light in this room. There's like a dome.
There is a lamp on that table, but it depends if you want it to be on.
The funny thing is, maybe. But the funny thing is,
talking about the hall?
No, I was talking about the library.
Oh.
The funny thing is just that if it was nighttime, you would turn on that light, and it would be like not even remotely enough to light up the whole. Like you would have to, like if you wanted the book at night, you would have to.
There can be lights above the bookshelves, I suppose.
We don't have to. I'm like it's gonna be during the day, so it doesn't actually like matter. But I'm just saying it's kind of funny that it's the way it is.
A big problem, I don't think.
Okay, now shouldn't use those. Choose one of these. Should make those. Well, yeah, whatever. Obviously, we'll give these their own emissive thing. Oh yeah, I forgot. There was he sent a YouTube video.
Hmm?
He sent us a YouTube video of like a bunch of particles in Unity.
I like particles.
It's amazing what you can do with a game engine. the big problem is always performance.
That's what it looks like. They look great, but I'm curious how well they perform on, average.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it would just be for like a specific small scene or something.
Yeah.
That would work. But I mean, this is something that just came out, and it's pretty interesting. That it looks pretty cool, dude. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. That looks cool.
It's just, it's funny because like
performance is questionable.
Yeah.
Very questionable.
How is the floor part? Like, what? I'm so confused.
That would be the one thing that would be really nice to, like, be working on if you were working on a console game, is because you would know that every machine that you were building for would be the exact same machine, and you also would know that it would have a graphics card, you know? So, like...
You know how far you can go with the console.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever plan to publish on big consoles?
I mean, like, if it's a possibility at some point, like, if we get to that level, then maybe, but...
initial release will be, I guess, on PC.
This will definitely be on PC, and might only be on PC, just because it's hard to port these things. I mean, Unity makes it easier than other things, and also just publishing on console in general is tough, and also expensive.
It's like an expensive thing to do as well.
Yeah, like...
I think that's the main drawback, is it would cost a lot to put it on a console and keep it on a console. And it would just depend on how well it does on PC.
If it does, like, absurdly well for some reason on PC, and suddenly we're, like, both millionaires or something, then, like, at that point, it would be like, okay, this thing is performing, time to try to explore other avenues, and, like, one of those might be console, you know, but the likelihood of that happening is not super high, so I wouldn't expect, you know, to have a release on console.
We're not opposed to it.
Not opposed to it,
if
no.
it's, you know, worth the cost.
And also the time investment.
It's the Xbox indie store.
Yeah.
I think is what it's called.
Something like that.
I thought it was something straightforward, just like Steam. Like, you pay an upfront cost, and they review your game, but your game has to be specifically designed for it, and then there's the whole waiting process, and that's how it goes. But
there's also a lot of...
What about Steam? Wouldn't Steam be like a after PC build?
What do you mean?
Like a PC release on, like, I'm sure you're probably just gonna have a download link on your website.
Well,
and then Game Jolt.
We'll probably go through Steam and Game Jolt and Itch and those things. I don't think we'll have a direct download because it'll be a paid thing, and I don't really want to mess around with, like, trying to create, like, a whole transaction thing. I would rather just leave that up to... Besides, I mean, like, platforms like Steam...
Stuff like that for software.
Well, yeah, I know they have pieces of software that can, like, do it for you and stuff, but still, like... I feel like just having it on Steam alone, like, everybody knows what Steam is. Like,
yeah, Steam is like Steam.
The only games that don't do that are games like Overwatch, where it's like a huge studio and they know that people will download it anyway, and they want to get 100% of the revenue.
Or Epic Games client.
Yeah, so the reason they do that is because they want to get 100% of the revenue. They don't want to give any of it to Steam, which is basically a competitor of theirs.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about the little fee.
Yeah.
Is it a fee per purchase?
Well, yeah, I'm sure every time, I'm sure Steam takes like probably 30% or something like that.
Well, every time someone purchases your game, they don't publicly post what their fee is because it varies from publisher to publisher.
Yeah.
I think that in general they take more from people that will get more sales. So I think AAA games will have a higher percentage, I think.
Yeah.
Publish their fees for the world to see. Once you submit your game and pay the, I think, $100
initial fee,
initial fee to publish a game. Once you do that, they negotiate. I guess would be the word for it. What the
actually hand tested the game.
And they also.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. These rooms are creepy in a way I didn't expect them to be. Because I thought they would be more lit up than, like, they are. And I can always, like...
I think that... if I recall, I think that the average is around 30% though for that fee.
Yeah, I mean and that's kind of reasonable too, I suppose, for what it is. And again, platforms like
there's
Steam,
no fee from Unity as well itself. I thought there was
Unity
something
itself
about...
doesn't have a fee unless you make a certain amount of money. So
if it's 100,000 a year, then you have to buy Pro or something.
That's really it, which is actually a really great deal. Like as
that makes
as engines
sense.
go, it's like that's a
I
steal.
think Unreal is 5% or something like that.
Maybe it used to be. It used to be more, Well, I don't know if they still do that actually. Even.
I mean, when it went free to use, I think that's when they implemented like the. It could be.
Yeah, Unreal has their own way of doing it.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was for them, but
it was something like what Jordan was explaining.
Yeah. But like as like engines go, like Unity is a pretty good, like has a pretty great system for that. Because again, it's like $100,000 is the price. Like if you're making more than $100,000 a year, that's the point at which legally in the United States, I think you have to have something above a sole proprietorship as like a company, which means you're getting like serious at that point, you know. And so like Unity asking you to just buy Pro, at least if you're like a 1 or 2 man team,
yeah, that shouldn't be
then that's not a big deal. It would be a bigger deal if you had like 20 people or something that was making over $100,000 a year, because you would have to buy a membership for each of them individually. But
that'd be a different case. Yeah.
But even then, you would, like, if you had 20 people on your team, then you would be trying to make a game that would make a lot of money, because
it'd probably
you have
make a lot
to,
more than 100,000.
in order to, you have to, if you had 20 people on your team, in order to give all those people like actual profit. So I mean, at that point you would be making more money anyway. So it's actually a pretty fair system, I feel like. So like, you know, an indie studio like me and Jordan wouldn't be charged very much, and we're only going to get charged if we actually make a lot of money in the first place. And then like a larger studio gets charged more, but they're a larger studio anyway, and so they can afford it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to cancel out a lot of these shadows.
For that specific type of light fixture, I think each light sort of cancels out the shadow of the other.
Yes. I'll do that for sure. I'm just trying to throw lights everywhere and just see kind of what it looks like. You know. It also, I don't know, it gives me a much better sense of like what like materials we should be picking too, just seeing it like that.
Wherever you have one of those lights, it's like that massive shadow of one of the chandeliers is like it's just everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I won't have them like that. Some of them a little bit, but like definitely not the chandeliers, because they're just ridiculous, and that wouldn't be realistic if you had
like
all
you
those
could
light
see
sources.
the shadows of the candles on the walls.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Like the light, the candle would cast a shadow on the opposite candle, but because light's going in all directions for each candle, the light would hit the shadow and just sort of subdue it to where you couldn't really see it.
Yeah. They would have to be independently lit. Like,
well, we could put a point light on like each one of them, but the amount of processing, unless it's baked,
yeah, that doesn't make sense.
The amount of processing would be ridiculous. So
we're saying you might try to baking light one time.
We definitely should try to bake light, especially because this is already like a pretty, like having this the mansion be as big as it is already, like, has kind of a lot of processing overhead. So, like, the prison is really well lit, and we use real-time lights for that, but,
it occurred to me that sort of den area over there doesn't really have a main light.
You mean that staircase?
It's underneath. It's got like the pool table and the bar.
Well, both of those areas actually.
It's like a fireplace sort of, which would create light unless it was off.
We could light the fireplace.
The main light,
because that would help a lot.
I mean, we could put one in.
Yeah.
It has. I think there's a light on the ceiling above, and I think there's a lamp in the corner, other corner.
There is. Yes.
There's also like sort of lights focused on the team.
Man, this is probably is this the longest stream we've done? I bet it is. Because I'm normally I go to bed here in about 20 minutes, so that's probably what I'll do. Especially because I have my first day of college tomorrow.
First day back.
Not first day back, yeah. Not like first day of college. But, like, classes are different and stuff, and I have to get there early. Because everybody's going to come early, because that's what everybody does. Oh, yay, a buttery 19 frames per second.
Hey, maybe that bake stuff will.
Yeah, I mean, again, we can do the aggressive chunk management if that's a thing. If we end up having to do these things in real time.
I would hope we don't have to do that.
I really hope we don't have to. I hope that these things will kind of work out, because
I don't even remember what it looked like when we tried to bake it.
I kind of hate to end the stream here because it says there's like 5 people watching, but I don't know. It's getting late, and I also want to attempt to do a bake. So maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll end the stream here, and then we'll go ahead and we'll try to bake it once and just see what happens. Good idea.
Sure. Super idea.
Alright. I'll have to put it into like lower settings so that I can see if it's I'll just take all these and turn them to baked for now. And then yeah, I think we'll just end it here. So anyway, thank you guys for watching and for hanging out with us. Thanks, Tristan, for coming on the voice chat. And,
yeah, no problem, dude.
And
definitely watch it again whenever it comes on your stream.
Sweet. Awesome.
You know, I'll actually maybe have the time to explain my game as well. I didn't want to explain it earlier because I already explained it to someone, and it took me like forever. So I was like, "Oh, really, dude?
Yeah.
Not explaining it again. Come on."
Yeah, we'll have you back sometime if you want.
Yeah, for sure. You have a good night as well.
Yep. Yeah, everybody have a good night, and we'll see you guys next time.